Today's an incredibly worrying time for many families right across the country who are concerned about what happens when they come off fixed-term mortgage deals. Already people were facing mortgage payments of £3,000 on average more than the rates they were coming off of. This is going to heap even more pain on ordinary working families. It's why today Labour have set out a 5-point plan to help people with their mortgages. If I was Chancellor today, I would be instructing banks to support customers by enabling them, for example, to move on to interest-only products, to extend the term of their mortgage and to halt repossession proceedings for 6 months. Just some practical things that could be done right now to help people who, through no fault of their own, are facing huge increases in their mortgage costs.
It sounds like you disagree with some other opposition parties who have been calling for direct state support to help people pay their mortgages. Why do you think that would be a bad idea?
First of all, we've got to have a targeted scheme. There are people who are particularly impacted, who are really struggling right now through no fault of their own with those higher mortgage payments. But also, we do have a huge inflation problem in the UK, and lots of untargeted fiscal support from the government is not the right response when we need to tackle inflation. But the targeted approach that I've set out today with our 5-point plan for dealing with the Tory mortgage penalty is about getting practical support right now to those who need it most.
Do you think now a recession is the only way to squeeze inflation out of the system? And would that be a price worth paying?
I don't agree with that, and I know the worries that families and businesses are already facing now with higher energy bills, higher food prices, and now the higher mortgages and rents that are coming our way. The bank need to make the decisions that they need to make, but that's why I want to ensure that those people who most need support, whether it is through extending the windfall tax to help with the cost of living crisis or the 5-point plan for mortgages that we've set out today, that we do everything in our power, and I would, as Chancellor, do everything within my power to help those who need it most.
I think that's what the bank is trying to do with this quite high rate rise, though, tip the economy into recession to try and get inflation down.
But the bank have got a mandate for inflation, the 2% inflation target. They need to take the decisions that they think are appropriate. And unlike the Conservatives, I'm not going to give a running commentary on the bank's decisions. It is right that they have that operational independence. But the government need to do what only they can do, which is give that instruction to the Financial Conduct Authority to ensure that banks are properly helping customers who at the moment are very, very worried about what these increases in interest rates and mortgage rates mean for them, their families, and keeping a roof over their head.
You used to be an economist at the Bank of England. Do you think Andrew Bailey's doing a good job? Do you think your old colleagues here are doing a good job handling this inflationary period?
Bank of England independence was one of the greatest achievements of the last Labour government. The Conservatives spent a large proportion of last year undermining the independence of the bank, of the Office for Budget Responsibility, and of course sacking the former permanent secretary at the Treasury. I recognise that economic stability, financial and fiscal stability are the rock upon which all other economic policies must rest, and undermining those independent economic institutions will only make the challenges that we face in getting a grip of inflation and growing our economy even harder. So I will not, unlike the Tories, indulge in that sort of politics.
Look forward to serving your first 4 years in government with Andrew Bailey in his last 4 years in term as governor. There'll be no plans to change that at all.
I'm not being complacent at all about what happens at the next election. Labour will be fighting for every vote. But with me as Chancellor, all of our economic policies will be built on that rock of economic, fiscal and financial stability.